No, but she's still pretty. You know? I'm a summer baby, you know how I go.
Yo, it's your boy Tone East coming straight out of Vegas, by the way of St. Louis. I'm here with my boy Reserv.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up, Reserv, man? We gonna get to know Studio 1920 today. This is only Vegas, so we only coming to you with the things that's live in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? We gotta let the people know because everybody's coming from, man, Lord knows where people coming from when they coming to Vegas.
For real.
They
It's a
coming
lot of
from
people from different places here.
That's
for
right.
sure.
They coming from all over the world,
Yep.
So today we gonna specifically talk about Studio 1920.
Okay. That sounds good.
That sound all right? That sound all right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right,
sir.
well, we gonna start I'm Tone. I'm the owner of Studio 1920. We been here for 5 years now.
Yep.
Yeah, about 5 years now. I mean, maybe even 6. I know. I came down to Vegas in 2018. It took me a whole year to build this wonderful facility we got here, and now we up and running. And we've been going strong for 5 years. And today I wanted to let y'all know who the studio manager is, the man that's really kind of been keeping things afloat here at Studio 1920, and that's my boy Reserv. Reserv, let him know who you are.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Reserv. A lot of people know me by Mixed by Reserv, but Reserv my first name. I'm from Virginia. That's a long way away. Man, the music scene is so much different out here, and the energy and the culture.
Yeah.
It's so different because there's so many people that are out here.
Yeah.
And it's something I can relate to because it's just like that back home with the military influence. So many different cultures, so many different people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love being here at 1920 because it's a facility that looks great. It sounds great.
Yeah.
We had a hand in building it to where it is now, and take pride in that.
Man, we got to take pride in that because,
for sure.
over the last 4 or 5 years, we went through something catastrophic, which was COVID. You know what I mean?
Man.
And a lot of small businesses, unfortunately, like they didn't make it through, so, but we here, we still standing, you know what I mean?
Still
So,
rocking.
man, that's just a wonderful thing, just for any business to be able to pull through some tough times like that and say, we still here 5 years later. And, yeah, man, that's something that I'm super proud of. But
It's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I just been in go mode. You know what I mean? Like every day, a new opportunity to do something better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hadn't even thought about that, but it was during COVID that that I met you and we got started here and moving things around, and I hadn't even felt the shift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was a little low for a little bit, but that was when we was getting that reboot. So
Yeah.
it was expected, but I didn't really feel like a knockoff. Or like we were behind the ball because of COVID. So
yeah,
that's
man,
crazy.
and that's
great.
good, right?
Yeah, that's
Great
excellent.
when you actually sit there and think about it. It's like, man, that's good.
We beat a pandemic.
We beat a pandemic. I got other homies. They got bars and restaurants and stuff, and they closed down. So, you know what I mean. And we always want to wish everybody the best, but that's very important that we was able to push through and make it through those times. Now we at our 5-year mark, and it's time for us to elevate. So we bringing in addition of podcasting to the spot by the way of Only Vegas. You know what I mean? Our sponsors. And
Shout out Only Vegas.
yeah, shout out Only Vegas, DNA Tay. You know what I mean? Militia,
boy.
the whole movement.
Yep.
So but let me hear a little bit more of your background, Reserve. Like you say, you from VA.
Yeah.
from VA,
Born and raised in Virginia. I think of it as a small place, but it's not. When you look at it on the map, it's big.
Yeah.
But I'm from Virginia, where the music scene is very stifled.
Yeah.
It's a lot of crab in a bucket mentality, and I hate to say that because you hear it so much, it becomes cliche back home. But then when you get outside of home and you think about what you had to endure at home, trying to do the same thing you're doing now, how much pushback you got, you can only think like, man, it's got to be the people around me, right?
Yeah.
So if it's the people around me, and I know the people around me, somebody got to be pulling me down because they not here to be pulling me down, and I'm doing great. So
I assume that's part of the reason why you came out here, huh?
Yeah, and man, doing my ancestry was a big part for me.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about moving out of Virginia, my mother, the woman that raised me, not my mother, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But she always said, you got to leave home. Like, you can't, you got to go.
Yeah.
Not in the sense of I don't want you here, but I know there is greater for you outside of Virginia. And then I did my ancestry, and it gave me the story. If you do the ancestry, the DNA part, it'll tell you kind of like a story of your ancestry since like 1700 or something like that. And
Oh, word. I didn't know that.
Man, the whole circle was North Carolina and Virginia, all the way back to 1700.
Damn.
I'm like, I'm not going to be another generation stuck where they dropped us off the boat at.
Right. Damn.
Let's go.
That's deep.
So for me, it was changing the narrative,
Yeah.
changing cycles,
Yeah.
breaking cycles,
Yeah.
starting something new for my family,
Yeah.
my siblings, my mom, all of them being able to say, that's my so-and-so over there. That's my son.
That's my son
he
over there in
you know what I'm
Vegas,
saying?
under the lights.
If I don't do nothing else,
Yeah.
I at least had the courage to pull myself out of that hole we were put in.
Yeah.
And even if I put myself in another hole, I chose this.
That's right. That's
and that
right.
was important for me. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy that you're saying that, because that's inspiring in itself.
Man,
Yeah, just
I
for
hope so.
just for your peoples to look and say, yo, that's my that's my brother, that's my cousin out there doing this thing in Vegas.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because there's perception, of just Las Vegas. You know what I mean?
Right.
People don't know we live here,
Right.
So people have no clue what we going through here. We live in regular
just
lives.
the street. You know what I mean?
That's just the street, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's still inspiring. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's something you can't replace that for them. You know,
For sure.
It's an inspiration, and I think that's what we should aim to do at all times. Inspire. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's kind of how I run it. Like a lot of things I tell myself throughout the day. One of them being, let's do something today that make me better than yesterday. Let's make some better decisions today.
That's right.
Than I did yesterday.
That's right.
Because if I make better decisions today, I can only help but be better today.
That's right.
And if I'm better 2 days from now than I was 2 days ago, you know?
Yeah.
And also that you just got to keep grinding, man. You got to keep working.
That's
no
right.
matter what happens, you got to keep trying to elevate and do better.
That's right.
'Cause if you sit and you become complacent, that's when you die.
That's right.
And die is a strong word,
It
but
is.
when you
It's a
think
hell of a
about it,
word.
when you think about it in a sense of evolution and progress,
Mm-hmm.
you can't stop. Yeah. Every like species that stopped evolving is no longer here.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
They got complacent.
Yeah.
They stopped moving past the problem, the hurdle.
Exactly.
And they died. They're no longer here.
Exactly.
So I keep that same mindset. You got to stay being able to shift between the issues and come out on top on the other side. You just got to keep going. You're going to come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to. There's no reason why you wouldn't.
That's right.
So just keep pushing.
Just keep pushing, bro. That's very, 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 very words of the wise from my boy Reserv, yo. That's something everybody should keep in tune with, especially if you're an artist,
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you're an artist, Was you an artist back in VA?
Yeah. I did a lot of rapping and singing, and I still do that. I plan to actually drop like a project this year.
Yeah.
I don't know when. I don't know what it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
I kind of know what it's gonna sound like because it's gonna be a bunch of the songs that I did in Virginia that was kind of popular with my circle, my group of people. Mm-hmm. And they'll just be revamped. It'll be an update on what that would have been if I wrote it today.
Okay.
Use the same subjects, the same concepts, maybe even the same choruses. Take parts of that and make that song what it should have been.
Revamp 'em. I heard that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
'cause
then
you definitely got
this.
You got some crazy skills.
Yeah,
okay.
I be trying to, and then going back from my background, band, church, choirs, and stuff like that, I can help the artists that I work with.
All right. Well, let's talk about a little bit more of that. So VA. So when I think of VA, I think of Chris Breezy. I think of Timbo. I think of Missy. You know what I mean? Like, were you influenced by any of these artists coming up?
No. And it's crazy to say that, but when I look at them, I hold them in such a high regard because they all have sounds that you cannot duplicate. I don't care how hard you try.
Facts.
And that's kind of the issue with Virginia, my area of Virginia, having a sound. We don't have one.
No, it's Trey Songz from Virginia.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't have a sound because the sounds that have created from here are so iconic they can't be duplicated.
Yeah, that's right.
So either you continue to try to sound like Missy or Timbaland or all of that when there's so many other styles popping out around you, or you do what feels good, what it does for you, and you make a hit. And
that's right.
You can go, you can't. But
That's right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, bro. So ultimately, you progressed and you found yourself doing more so like engineering. And how did you stumble into that?
Me and my guys was making music back in the day.
Yeah.
So I realized very, very early on that there are parts of the puzzle. and the pieces to the puzzle make the big picture.
Right.
So we trying to make a song. That's what we came to the homie house for. We're gonna make a song.
Right.
So everybody rapping. Who gonna make the beat?
Yeah.
All right. So me and bro start making beats.
Yeah.
And he getting really good at making beats, and I'm getting complacent.
Yeah.
So how do I level up? Two people making beats. The music sound like trash though.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody need to be making it sound good.
Yeah.
So bro kept making beats, and I started training myself on mixing and understanding that world on top of trying to write and be an artist. And I was like, well, let's focus. There's a bunch of rappers around me. There's a producer around me. There's nobody else to do my job. I'm going to hone in on my job.
Man, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that, man? Being able to recognize that you need a certain position in order for the team to win is very pivotal in anything or any group or anybody that's successful, you know?
Exactly.
So to have that ability to recognize, like, you know what? Everybody can't rap. Everybody can't produce. You know, we need somebody to make this shit sound good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's dope, bro. That's dope that you was able to recognize that and stepped into that position. And I know you personally, but the world don't know you. I know you got a crazy ear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That ain't always the, like, you know, I'm a rapper. You know, I'm a writer, rapper. You know, but
Yeah.
I don't have that ear. I don't have.
I mean,
that ear
you
to
got
do
it. You be playing yourself short. 'Cause
Yeah.
you be catching things before I do in the session.
Well, now it's just because I've been doing it for so long.
Right,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's a difference between having an ear and knowing exactly what to do to fix it.
I feel
See,
it.
I can hear it, but I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you how to fix it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like just develop like that skill set. Like, how long did it take you to actually become good at that?
Ooh. Man, that's crazy because I almost spit out an answer that almost didn't make sense. So my first instinct was to say all my life.
Yeah.
And I say that because I recognize over the years and going through school that it's ear training. So every
Yeah.
time you listen to a song, whether it's for enjoyment or it's for a reason, it's ear training.
Yeah.
You're picking things up from that song, what sounds good, what don't sound good. So that's why I would say all my life. But focusing on it would be when I started having to hear what sounds good in this song that we just recorded
Yeah.
or what don't. And then I started composing music for the band.
Okay.
And I also had my own little jazz band in
Yeah.
high school too. And I was writing music on the side. Like some of the songs I wrote would go play some covers, go out, you know, and we did really well. It was like going to people's houses, like they're booking us for shows and stuff. We was like 14,
damn.
15 years old. We didn't know what to do.
That's what's up.
We was just like, all right, bet. He got a car. Let's load it up. Let's go.
Yeah.
So in that time of composing and writing and doing all of that, and also producing and engineering and rapping and trying to do everything, I found a sound.
Yeah.
And that was crazy because that came from the ear training.
Yeah.
I was listening to Lil Wayne. I was listening to Luda, all for different purposes.
Yeah.
Listening to Luda for the flow, the wordplay. Listening to Wayne for the metaphors. I was trying to put the two together. And in taking and focusing and taking pieces from him, taking pieces from him, and having my own connection and my own ear to the music and to the magic in a sense. We'll get into why I call it magic in a little bit too. That's important.
Yeah.
It created my own sound and my own style where I felt comfortable. And when
Yeah.
I felt comfortable, it was over, man.
It was over.
It was
from
easy.
There. That's what's
yeah.
up. Yeah, I said, and then you get to a point where you become so good at it, then you can ultimately, like, you can make a living from it, or
Right.
at least a side hustle where, you know, you putting money in your pocket for something
Yeah.
that you love to do.
Exactly.
Which is dope.
And never stop learning. And
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that I carry with me from school is that forever be a student.
Yeah.
So
So
anytime-
you did go to school.
Yeah, I did. I finished school August 2023.
Okay, what school?
Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed that program because it was 2.5 years as opposed to the whole 4 years. So it cut out a lot of the fluff that really held me back going to university because I also went to Hampton University. And I just felt like I was wasting my time and my money there, not because it's a bad program or a bad school.
Yeah.
It was just I was taking English classes, math classes, science classes, engineering classes, not the engineering that I do, but
Not
they were trying to,
not audio engineering.
we were doing like real robotic projects. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I enjoy this, but this is not what I came to school for. So then I found a program that we took a English class because we had to write.
Yeah.
And they explained that to us. I know this is not specifically in your degree program, but you're instructed through your degree program to write us papers.
Yes.
And we want those papers to be at a certain level, so you need to take this English class so we know that you're proficient at that. Boom, got it.
Right.
All right, bet. English class over with. You're an engineer. You need to problem solve.
That's right.
That's what an engineer is, a person that thinks creatively enough to solve a problem. That's it. So if you're an engineer, you need to know how to do math.
That's right.
Some things are mathematical equations. If you think about it that way, you can come to a solved problem.
Yeah, no, I know
Answer.
exactly what
You know what I
mean.
mean?
Yeah,
So,
come
okay.
to an answer, a solution.
You brought it to me like that. I'm already good at math. Let's do it. And then boom, we was mixing and recording and creating sounds and putting sound in the games and movies and creating Foley and sound design. You know, all kind of stuff after that. And I was in my world, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's do it.
That's where the passion was at.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
was able to exercise what it was that I already knew and what it was that I loved to get the results that I needed and the education that I needed. Not spending 2 years or a year and a half doing stuff that not that it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
but it wasn't necessarily directly applied to the sciences that I needed.
That's right.
And that's why it took me so long to get finished with that, because I graduated in 2011, so it took me 12 years to get my degree.
Damn.
But it took me to know what worked for me and what didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And that dedication and getting through it to finally get it.
That's what's up, bro. The persistence. That's
Yep.
what's up, bro. That's dope. So that's definitely one of the things that I took a liking to when you came into the spot, and I was like, yo, this kid is dope. You know, he's smart. You know, after that first fucking conversation with you, I was like, yo, this dude is smart as hell.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, bro.
I need Reserv it here, you know, because you know, like sometimes we need somebody that can figure things out, problem solving, just like you said.
Yeah.
I knew that you was gonna be the guy for that job. You know what I mean? So but you know, we've been here in 1920. We've been cooking and we've been working over the years. Can you talk about some of the artists that you have had a chance to work with here in the studio?
Oh yeah, man, it's been a blessing. So my first artist was 2K Baby, and I actually got to work from him through Blockstar. When Blockstar went back to school for his senior year, you know, his mom was trying to let him all at the studio late. He got school in the morning, so he was like, "Hey, bro, I need you to record 2K for me since I'm going back to school. He'll primarily be recording with you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, cool." He was like, "I got another artist for you too, and when he book, I'll let you know."
Okay.
So I started working with 2K, and that was different for me because 2K's method of recording wasn't something I was used to. Coming from Virginia, I was used to people writing.
Yeah.
And when they get in the studio, they'll recite what they wrote.
Yeah.
With the, trying to add the feeling, the passion, get back to where they was in that time.
Yeah,
And
fast. 2K like a mad scientist. He just in there like, punch me in.
Yeah.
Punch me
Everything's a punch. We done 300 different takes, 300 punches, and now it all comes to be this whole thing, but it's almost flawless.
Yeah.
All it really takes is for me to do my job or his mixing engineer to do their job.
Exactly.
And that was exciting for me. And then to work with other names and see that's exactly how they do it too.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're behind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, cool. So let me figure out why this works. And then I'm thinking, well, in that moment, you're speaking from yourself. In that moment, every time you say another bar. So it keeps the original magic.
It fresh. It keeps the magic fresh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As opposed to writing it down 2 nights ago and then rehearsing it, and then you're not even the same person you were 2 nights ago. You're not in the same mental space. You're not the same attitude. The stuff that you had going on, you probably fixed by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Whatever it was about, you ain't even
mad at that no more. Exactly. So
yeah.
it's like that. Really, I appreciated that and took notice to that to apply to my own science, which I haven't gotten to yet, but I'll start really, getting back into it, this year with that project I'm trying to put together.
That's what's up. Okay, so you said 2K Baby. Anybody else?
So also coming from Blockstar at that time was Blue Jeans.
Me
and Blue Jeans work hard still to this day.
Yeah.
We was just here last night for a session.
Yeah.
Blue just finished mixtape album. He puts them on Apple Music, so I guess technically they're albums.
Yeah.
So he just released the album maybe 2 weeks ago, and I think he just put the R&B tape up last night. We finished. And then
Yeah, bro. Shout out to Blue Jeans. Like Blue Jeans is a dope artist.
A lot of work.
Dope artist. He
work.
doing like the R&B type of almost hip hop R&B
yeah,
type
it's
of
kind of
twist.
like a West Coast trap soul.
Yeah,
You know what
he
I'm
almost
saying?
like a Ty Dolla but a little more gritty than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's hard. It's
nah,
hard.
Nah, I fuck with
it's
Blue
hard.
Jean. Like, Blue Jean is my, you know what I mean? That's my man's, and I definitely appreciate him for coming through. You know what I mean? And y'all been cooking, and that shit definitely been sounding fire.
Yeah, we've been getting the sound together, and he's one of the reasons why I am where I am today, because of the consistency with me and him. It's knowing the artist and knowing the style, but also being able to problem solve. Quickly. Yeah. Because for him and 2K, they need to hear it while they record. Yeah. It's kind of like the sound that they want on the record. They need to hear it while they're recording it, or it throws them off. Yeah. So you have to be able to kind of mix before they do the take, in a sense, and it makes your job easier on the back end, because you can now copy and paste from your record track and put it down on the takes when they drop it down, and everything should sound cool to them. You balance level like they want, boom, you out the door with a nice rough, and that's how we've been winning. So it's
some shit. Sometimes a nice rough could take them all the way.
Right, and it's not, and they understand it's not a full mix and master, because the full mix is applying, the sciences that I learned. Can sound crazy, you know what I mean? But that rough gives them something they can go home and they can advance on. So if there's anything else they want to add to it, they can hear that clearly. Yeah, and be able to, okay, there's a little something that I need, a little something right there. Okay, boom, we'll add a little, and then we'll go ahead and do the thing, and then boom, we can put it out. So, and then working with Blue Jeans came a lot of features. La Russell was one of the first features that I got from him that was kind of like, all right,
That's pretty dope. That's crazy.
Take a second. And that was crazy for me, because I've always been a La Russell fan. As long as he's been out, I like his positivity. That's one thing that's big for me. You have to remain positive.
Yeah, La Russell is dope, bro.
It's
definitely
crazy. You know what I mean? And it's getting crazier by the day. Yeah. And
you can see the progression. You can see it. Yeah.
And to remain positive and to remain giving and so selfless and humble like that, it speaks dynamics over what we've seen from celebrities and how successful that can be, just to be your authentic self.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I inboxed him. I know he wasn't gonna read it, but I just had to let him know I was proud of him. Bro, I don't want nothing from you, bro. Don't think I want nothing from you. I just want to let you know I'm proud of you. Yeah. And I don't know you from a can of paint, but what I see and your impact on our society, our world, bro, I don't have to know you to tell you I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
That's a big fact, bro. And that's because he's an inspiration.
Exactly.
It's just inspiring, you know what I mean, to see La Russell come from where he started to where he is now. And then I think he's going to go a lot further,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's going to go a lot further.
He's going to be a name that people talk about for a very long time. Yeah, because for sure. There's no way to create this. Yeah, facts. This is authentic. Like you can't put this in a algorithm.
Yeah, facts. And then to be able to have the whole package, including the business savvy.
Exactly.
Sometimes the artist is dope as hell, but the business savvy is something you just can't teach.
And the music is only 10% of the successful package. Yeah, so if you can't do the business, you already lost.
Exactly. And the team. And he got obviously,
the team,
Obviously, he got a dope team. His family around it.
And taking care of their parts. Yeah. Like we was talking about, everybody got a part to play.
Exactly. Yep. So man, that's super dope, man. And let me pause for a second. Shit, cause I kind of lost track. We talk about the rest.
I wanted to tell you about this label I've been working for. So it's
let's talk about that.
It's an independent label called Ocean 5 Records. Okay. They based out of Ohio, starting, but now they're in Miami. Yeah. And I applied to them from this little job base that I got from school when I graduated, and I didn't know that they was trying to get with me about an interview, and then they called me, and I was like, all right, let me see what they talking about. Yeah. As long as they don't say nothing weird, I know it ain't a scam. So I started talking to her. I started talking to the CEO. I started talking to her, Skylar. She cool, and it was a real opportunity. I became an A&R intern 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it's been ups and downs, man. I didn't know what an A&R was. Yeah. Let's start there.
You took the job. Okay. Took the job before you knew
Right. But coming out of school, one thing I carried with me from school too was you get your foot in the door and then you show what you can do. Yeah. So it's
Take
a
the
label.
Opportunity.
I'm signing up, whatever job. It could be the janitor. As long as I'm in the building, I'm cleaning the rooms. When I'm cleaning the rooms, I'm networking.
Exactly.
You started about on working way, just get in the door. Yeah. A&R, I'm in the door. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, man. I don't got no idea. Going to the training meetings and stuff. I'm still going to meetings. And she giving us instructions that I'm like, all right, where do I start?
Where do you start with
so
this?
I hit my A&R director. Hey, Trevor, where do I start, man? You know, I'm trying to do this. And he'd be like, all right, start with this. And I'd be like, I'm off to the races. All right, cool. I got this one.
Yeah.
So I brought 3 of my guys on. So as my artist, my first artist.
Okay.
And it's just been slow.
Yeah.
We ain't had the stuff that we've needed, not from the label. The label's got everything. And they give us whatever it is that we needed. Mm-hmm. But us, in our process that we've already had, that's what I talk about being complacent. Mm-hmm. You got to move past where you were to get to the next spot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because that's kind of like, so when you sign up with a label, it's a lot different from being independent. Now,
yeah.
Now, with your experience, like in your opinion, which direction do you feel like an up and coming artist should shoot for?
I actually, not trying to be biased, but an independent label is kind of like the middleman between that. So you got an artist that has nothing, nobody. They just know they want to do music. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to run into the wrong people. A lot of people don't have the mindset to help. They have the mindset to help themselves. Yeah. So you start with I would say start independent. Start by yourself. Yeah. To learn your craft and get people around you that can help you build a network. Mm-hmm. And then if you're doing well, let's go beyond that, because your publisher isn't a successful publisher. If it was, you wouldn't be trying to figure out what label to come. They'll be beating on the door for you. Exactly. So if you're still at a point where you feel like, okay, I'm making great music, I'm getting a little traction with my music on social media, I'm getting some numbers coming in, some streams, I feel like it's time to elevate. Yeah. And I would elevate from there to an independent label. The independent label is not going to take royalties from you. Not this one that I work for anyway. I can't speak for everybody. Like a United Masters, something like that. Kind of, yeah. And you get, they have their distributor. They are their own publisher, so they have a publishing company. And they don't pay for studio time. That's one of their biggest things, because whoever pays for the studio time owns the masters. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So
that's the big thing.
You pay for your own studio time so that you retain the rights to everything. Yeah. And that's one of those things I liked about them. They were very transparent about that through that process with my guys when we was going through the contract signings. Yeah. And made sure everything was very simple. It wasn't a whole lot of extra jargon and extra complicated words.
That confuse you.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even though I'm a smart college guy, I can understand that, but I didn't have to. Yeah. And people that aren't going to try to hide things from you are the type of people that I need beside me, because no matter good or bad, you're not going to hide it from me. We can fix a bad problem. Exactly. But if you don't let me know that there's a problem, that could be something we can't overcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, or you trying to trick me into
Are you trying to trick me into another problem, because you're not trying to help me, you're trying to help yourself. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. I would say after you, I wouldn't say successfully completed, because successfully completed would be, somebody's looking for you in this sense. You completed the goal of getting on the radar of the people that you've been dreaming about coming to you. So, but if you haven't gotten there yet, then independent label where you keep your royalties, you keep you keep everything except for there's a 70-30 split on the streams, like those royalties. Yeah. And that's only during the contract. So outside of that contract, and what you've gained outside of the contracted time is now yours. So there's no keeping anything after you decided to go on. Yeah. So I think that's very straightforward, and that helps. And 30% if they're doing everything from artist development to helping you.
Is it any marketing spent, like marketing budget?
They take care of all of the stuff. They see it as it's our job to take your art and put it in a place where we can make money. Exactly. So if I have your record, but I'm not putting it nowhere, and then I'm charging you 30% from the streams because I put it up, that doesn't do anything. That's not doing anything more for you than you can do for yourself. Yeah, exactly. But if I have a team of A&Rs that know that they can shop your music to the stores that they go to, they can shop your music to the sync placements and put your music in things like games and commercials and TVs and movies and stuff like that. Now you're making money you never knew you could touch. Yeah. I have artist development. I have songwriters. I have producers. I have other mixing engineers across the country that maybe needed videographers. All of that is at my disposal through the label. You didn't have that before. That's why you needed a label.
Exactly.
And the label is just nothing more than your team, and you got to pay your team, and that's what the 30% is for.
That's right. Yeah, I like that. So now we here. We in Vegas. Like we were saying before, it's a melting pot. I'm from St. Louis.
Yeah.
You from VA. I mean, these artists come through the door. Some be from Cali. Some dudes from Detroit, Chicago.
A lot of
you know
New
what I
York.
mean? New York. You know, Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know, so
Texas too. Houston.
Las Vegas is a unique place in that regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel like this was the perfect place for you to end up as an audio engineer? Just Las Vegas. Just give me how do you feel about Las Vegas altogether?
Yeah, I do. I like that it's much faster than where I'm from, but I can set my own pace because I don't go outside.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I don't have a lot of clientele. And it's not necessarily quality. I mean, quantity for me is quality, but a good balance of both.
Yeah.
Because my goal is to make this my job.
Yeah.
The thing that pays my bills and takes care of my family.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I need more quantity, but I want quality.
Yeah.
So the Vegas is a good place to meet anybody.
Yeah.
And for an audio engineer, when you're running a business, let's put it as a business owner, anybody running a business or a brand, you want people that can afford your brand.
Yeah.
So nothing on my guys back home, but those are guys that are at home.
Yeah.
Virginia is not a big popping town. It's not a place with a big market or a big a capital or anything like that. Mm-hmm. The cost of living is significantly lower than where we are now. I remember paying $500 and something for a 1-bedroom apartment with my old lady when we got our first thing in 2013. You know what I'm saying? It's paying $850 when I left in 2000.
It's probably not much more than that now. Maybe
exactly my point.
Yeah.
When I tell people back home, this is 4-bedroom, be well over 2 racks, here for sure. And they be like, man. And I be like, okay, so y'all still behind in the financial part. Like the cost of living is lower. Yeah. The city is slower. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's the artists that are walking around that are doing studio sessions are not your 2K baby. Yeah. You're not getting features from La Russell. Yeah. You're not getting those opportunities. Yeah. So, and then the city in itself, the lights. I can go out my house at 3 a.m, hit the interstate, coming here to do a session and see lights. There's
you see action.
You
see inspiration.
You try to do that at 3 a.m. in Newport News, man. It's dead. Yeah. It's nobody. Nobody there, you know what I mean? You're the only person on the road, and then it's trees, and it's dark.
And the boys,
you know what I mean? It's just you and one time.
It's just you and the boys.
It's just not.
That's never good, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember getting pulled over with my uncle one time, and the cop told me, he was like, "Hey, you hear anything on my radar, on my radio?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "Yeah, it ain't nothing going on. I'm right there." I was like, "Dang, bro! Like, come on, you ain't got nothing else to do."
Yeah, exactly.
So it's being out here is so much more to get into if you're trying to get into something. Yeah. So having that freedom and that ability to do a studio session at 3 a.m. and it's going to be successful.
Exactly.
Or get
when you leave the
8-hour
club,
block.
You just left the club, or
and
you
now,
just popped some bottles. Right. You had 10 shorties with you. Now you feel like you got the perfect hook. You need to come to the studio.
Boom.
Right now,
we here.
We here. Studio 1920. We got you. If that's your life, we got you.
The city is live right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's live like that all the time, and I like that energy. It's the energy of the city. Because when I go back home, the energy around the city is really slow. It's calm. It's quiet. I almost feel like I'm in the country. I know it's
humbling.
Not the country.
It's humbling.
Right. And then you come back out here and you're like, man, no trees. I can see the open sky, the stars, the mountains. It's a different energy here. And that's what I gravitate towards, that energy. Yeah.
Likewise. I definitely got a special place in my heart for Vegas. You know, I'm from St. Louis, you know what I'm saying? I'm always going to be St. Louis to the core, but Vegas has definitely grown on me. Let me say that.
I put it for sure. I put it that way.
Yeah. So, bro. I mean, I think this was a pretty dope interview. You know what I mean? It's my boy Reserve Rights. I said Reserve Rights, but my boy Reserve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anything else you want to let the people know, man?
I don't want to get all old on y'all, Because I will. You know, I pull out some shit your granddaddy said. I'm just, like I was saying before, things are about getting better than, being better tomorrow than you were today, or being better today than you were yesterday. I mean, at this point, day almost gone, so be better tomorrow than you were today. So just life isn't as hard as you're making it out to be. It's yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're going to have problems tomorrow. You're going to have problems today.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your nose down, keep your head down, and keep fighting. You know what I mean? You got to come out on the other side. So don't make things so overcomplicated. Don't stress it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Don't overdo it. Mm-hmm. Because when you overdo it, then you lose sight of what you need to do to fix the problem. You're spending too much time focusing on the problem itself. You can't fix it.
That's right.
And that's big on being an engineer.
That's right.
And I don't want to downplay my title, but an engineer is just a problem solver. So everybody should be an engineer in some form or aspect of life.
That's right.
It's not such a special thing, but I engineer a computer software.
Yeah.
You know, that makes it sound all smart. I just know I know how to fix it.
It's important, though.
Yeah.
It's important. Definitely important. And I definitely agree with you 100%, man. Day by day.
Yep.
Day by day. Live in the present. Live
For
in
sure.
the present, man. Don't worry about tomorrow. You can't do anything about it. Don't worry about
Ooh, that's a
behind
big
you.
one. Don't worry about nothing you can't control.
You can't control.
Man. That eats me up about people in general. And I don't want to be that person. I don't like people, but I love people.
Yeah.
I was talking to Tay about that earlier. I'm not a people person. But in a room of people, I am the people person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like masking or coding. Is the energy.
Yeah.
And my energy plays off of the energy around me. And I know how to be quiet, and I know how to entertain in a sense, and I know how to be a part of the room and a part of what's going on around me. So it's don't worry about stuff you can't control.
Yeah.
Man, that affects your energy.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
a lot
important.
of stuff, people worried about just gun shooting outside. I grew up in the project. You know, gun shooting outside, people are like, oh, they shooting outside. Ain't nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, we in here.
Yeah, we're here. You know what I mean? Like, if you
inside,
scared,
though.
go back there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But ain't nothing you can do about what's going on
Outside.
there.
That's
so
right.
worry about what you can control. You can wake up in the morning. You can go to work tomorrow. You can kiss your kids, tell them you love them, and try to make them happy.
Mm-hmm.
And making sure this is my last one. This the one that really made me 31. I turned 31 a few days ago. This the one that really made me 31. Live to make your kids proud.
That's right.
And not to make your parents proud.
That's right.
So your parents going I'm sorry, they're
They
gonna
gonna-
die.
Yeah.
If everything goes like it's supposed to, you're supposed to wave bye-bye to them.
Yeah.
You're trying to make somebody proud that's not gonna be here to tell the story about how proud you made them.
Yeah.
Come
That's
on.
true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
I
Your kids gonna be here when you gone.
And they're going to
They
tell the
gonna tell
story
your story.
about what you were and what
That's
you
right.
weren't when you're not here anymore.
That's right.
You have to live to make your kids proud. And that's also how you break generational curses, because you're making them proud, not trying to make your parents proud.
That's right.
You're not going to do the same thing your mama did to you if you've healed from that. And that healing is going to come from truly focusing on not putting that on the kids.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? That's where the healing, you got to address that situation with your moms.
That's
Because
right.
you got to fix it there because it happened there.
That's right.
You can't address it with them. They don't want to address it. Okay, you can't control that. Go about knowing that you know what's going on. You know what happened. You know what it is, what the issue is. You know the rundown on that. Make your children proud.
That's right.
You'll
That's
be
right.
good.
That's a good word. That's a good word for everybody to take in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All of the artists out here, you know what I mean? Listen to my boy Reserv. I mean, he got some knowledge. You know what I mean? Put yourself in the right place with the right people. You get into those rooms, you know? And 1920 might just be the place for you. You never know.
It is. You don't know it yet, but it is. It is.
Yeah.
Just come here and get a
Get in
little
the room.
reserve.
Get in the room. Get in the room, Reserve.
Yes, sir.
And just like that, we're going to close out the first episode, Studio 1920, Only Vegas, Militia. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out my boy DNA Tay.
Yes, sir.
And it's just like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that was fire.
That was good.